Folks, we need to talk about something very, very serious. I'm coming to you with some breaking news now. U.S. President Donald Trump has declared war. No, not on Iran, not on China, not on Russia or North Korea or Canada. Donald Trump has declared war on penguins. Yes, you heard me right, penguins, specifically the penguins of the Heard and McDonald Islands, two remote uninhabited volcano specks in the Southern Ocean near Antarctica. Allow me to break this down, okay? First, let's set the stage. On April 2nd, President Trump unveiled his so-called Liberation Day tariffs, a likely unconstitutional executive order, slapping a minimum 10% tax on all U.S. imports with steeper levies of up to 50% on dozens upon dozens of countries. Tucked into that laundry list of nations were two particularly bizarre targets. Two barren islands, home to 0 human residents, but roughly 1 million king penguins. What does Donald Trump have against penguins? What is he? What did the birds ever do to him? Does he think that they're trafficking fentanyl into the country inside their little beaks or something? But I digress here. Here's the question that we need to be asking ourselves. Who's advising this? What staffer put this policy together? Because when the White House list came out, economists were left scratching their heads. How do you even calculate exports from an island with no people, no factories, no shipping ports, just glaciers and wildlife? Now, once again, the island's only residents waddle around and they eat fish. So who the heck is in charge here? Is no one fact-checking anything anymore? Is no one reviewing policy proposals, especially one as impactful as an international tariff program? Think about it. This rollout obliterated global markets. The S&P 500 plunged over 10% following the announcement. The Dow Jones lost thousands of points, and the NASDAQ tumbled into bear market territory. And while White House trade advisor Peter Navarro insisted there'd be no recession. Now, I know it seems a little silly to hyper-fixate on the penguins amidst all this turmoil, but it is really quite jarring that no one can explain how or why the White House declared economic warfare on flightless birds. Listen to the Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins.
President Trump laid out with a giant graphic of all the countries where tariffs were going to be, what he called reciprocal tariffs, were going to be imposed. And you're imposing a 10% tariff on the Heard and McDonald Islands. The Heard and McDonald Islands have 0 human inhabitants. They have 0 exports. They have 0 imports. They do have a lot of penguins. Why are you putting import tariffs on islands that are entirely populated by penguins?
Well, I mean, come on, Jake. Obviously, here's the bottom line. We live under a tariff regime from other countries. We have too long
the McDonald Islands is not imposing
the idea that America goes first. I mean, come on. Whatever. Listen, the people that are leading this are serious, intentional, patriotic, the smartest people I've ever worked with. I did not come up with the formulas. I'm the ag secretary. I studied agriculture at Texas A&M. I was in a lot of conversations to make sure our farmers and our ranchers were part of that. The president recognized the importance of inputs. We got potash and fertilizer to make sure they could do their planting. But I have no doubt that I speak on behalf of President Trump when he would say he has the utmost confidence in the team and what they have built and what they have put together. And we are unleashing a new golden age, and we will see an economy that will benefit not just every corner of America, but our farmers and our ranchers and the people that have been left behind for far too long by both Republicans and Democrats.
She couldn't even try to answer the question. She didn't even attempt an explanation there. She had no answer whatsoever for this colossal screw up. And how dare she laugh at the question like it's silly or something. Little sideshow, that's what she thinks. Well, the secretary, Madam Secretary, why are you tariffing penguins? At least Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, offered some type of answer. Granted, it reeks of BS.
Because when we saw the president stand in the Rose Garden holding up that chart that you helped make, that wasn't actually tariffs. That was actually confusing to investors because it was some kind of other formula, and the countries themselves seemed kind of random. Like, why are the Heard and McDonald Islands, which don't export to the United States and are quite literally inhabited by penguins, why do they face a 10% tariffs? Did you use AI to generate this?
No. The idea is
Why
that there
are
no
they on the
countries
list?
left off. Because the idea, what happens is, if you leave anything off the list, the countries that try to basically arbitrage America go through those countries to us. Any country, like we had tariffs, the president put tariffs on China, right, in 2018. And then what China started doing is they started going through other countries to America.
Right.
They just built through other countries through America. And so the president knows that. He's tired of it, and he's going to fix that. So basically he said, look, I can't let any part of the world be a place where China or other countries can ship through them. So he ended those loopholes, these ridiculous loopholes. And now what he's trying to say is, I'm going to fix the trade deficit of the United States of America. It's a national security issue. We need to make medicine. We need to make semiconductors. We need to make ships. We need to have steel and aluminum. Come on. We need the greatness of America to actually be built in America. And he's tired of getting ripped off by the rest of the world.
Okay, but just to be clear, April 9th, the so-called retaliatory tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, I should say, are those coming, or are they open to negotiation?
The tariffs are coming. He announced it, and he wasn't kidding. The tariffs are coming. Of course they are.
Okay, so if I am processing that word salad correctly, the administration's position is that they have to tariff the penguins, because if they don't, China will use their uninhabited islands as a loophole to circumnavigate their own tariffs? Sure, Howard Lutnick, sure. Okay. Whatever you say. I'm sorry, the absurdity of this dumpster fire just confounds me. Just to be crystal clear, one more time, penguins don't export electronics. They don't negotiate trade deals. They do not use money. Yet they are caught in the crossfire of this needless destabilization trade war because someone at the White House was too lazy to properly research all the countries that actually placed tariffs on the U.S., on U.S. goods, and instead seemingly asked ChatGPT to do it. Now the White House is trying to sweep this scandal under the rug. But this story isn't going anywhere. Social media has exploded with memes, penguins holding protest signs, cartoon icebergs stamped with "taxed by Trump," AI videos mocking trade negotiations between Trump and Happy Feet. And the TikTok, have you seen them? They're hilarious.
Captain's log, embarking into hostile environment. Walking. We'll need to win the hearts and the minds of the natives. Rico, we'll need special tactical equipment. We're gonna face extreme peril. Private probably won't survive.
It's hilarious until you realize that it is not really a laughing matter at all. We currently have a White House that is so unserious and incompetent that they couldn't be bothered to check if the territories they're tariffing, into oblivion, by the way, actually have human beings living there. Seriously, what the heck is going on here? Look, Penguin Gate, if you want to call it that, it's not as grave a scandal as Pete Hegseth sending war plans or attack plans to Jeffrey Goldberg or Trump deporting innocent people to a gulag in El Salvador. There are far worse things happening right now. But Trump's war on penguins is still worth talking about. This fiasco underscores the dangers of unchecked executive power and the perils of using sweeping economic tools without proper regard for their ramifications. It is a reminder that in our interconnected world, a dumb decision made in Washington can chill the waters of Antarctica, figuratively speaking, of course. If we want to protect American interests, we need smart, strategic policies, not stupid stunts that tank the stock market. We need to stick to trade tactics that don't return the global world order to the 19th century. We need to negotiate with our allies. We need to treat them fairly and communicate in good faith, because if we don't, the penguins won't be the only ones left out in the cold. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.